3 years ago, my wife and I sold all our belongings to hike different long-distance trails. Overall, we hiked almost 7,000 kilometers through the Pacific Crest Trail, the Shikoku 88 Temple Pilgrimage and the Te Araroa. Everything we owned, we carried on our back. Ever since I got back to civilization, I haven't really changed. I still sleep on the floor, wear the same clothes every day and own only stuff that fits in my backpack. Everything is about minimalism and optimization to live closer to and with nature. This isn't how my life really looks like. I'm not that much of a creep. Come, I'll show you what I really learned from 1 year of vagabonding. After living so close with nature, I haven't become a hermit who denies all technologies and society. In fact, I'm finding it really cool that my phone here reminds me that 3 years ago, my wife and I were hiking the Te Araroa in New Zealand. We started to hike the 90 miles beach, the beginning of the Te Araroa in New Zealand. We were homeless, jobless. Oh yeah, my wife was pregnant. Fun times. But sorry, I'm skipping ahead here. Like many people, I had a pretty linear life path. First, I went to school, then to college. And then I landed a fancy job in a great digital marketing agency in Zurich. And then everyday life events happened. I got promotions, got more money, lived in a fancy flat in the middle of Zurich, owned more stuff. Normal things. In 2017, my wife and I decided to take an unpaid leave to hike the whole Pacific Crest Trail, 4,800 kilometers from the Mexican-American border to Canada. We failed miserably and ended up hiking just the 2,700 kilometers of the Californian section. However, this experience led us to long for more nature and more freedom. So, in the beginning of 2018, we decided to immerse ourselves fully in a new lifestyle and leave the corporate world and all expectations of society behind us. Quitting my job and having no regular income sure was scary for me, but nearly not as frightening as leaving our apartment without having a new one. Having a home is such a basic need that losing it was such a frightening experience on a fundamental level. But once it happened, I gained a new perspective on new possibilities. I realized that many friends and family members were more than willing to share their home with my wife and me. Being independent was always a very important trait for me. But once I opened up my vulnerability to people, I found out that I'm actually not a burden to them. And they didn't judge me or my wife for our decision to quit everything and sell our stuff. That actually helped me to connect deeper with many friends or family members who took us in and shared their home with us. Demasking this fear helped me with many decisions in life. Where before my existential fear clouded my decision-making process in favor for security, I now can ask the question, what is the worst thing that can happen to me with more brevity and clarity. Getting rid of stuff was hard until the moment we started doing it. How much of the things in our lives are essential for our daily lives and bring us joy on a regular basis? When decluttering things, we must make the decision what stays in our lives and what doesn't. Facing this decision, everything becomes essential again. It's just like my boy forgetting about a toy and then sees his sister playing with it again. Suddenly this toy becomes the most important thing ever again. So many things has emotional value because it reminds us of a specific time, or it's like an artifact that connects with memories. It carries power over us only while holding on to this artifact. But once it's gone, we actually don't miss it so much. I can honestly say I haven't missed one thing that I have given away or sold. I think not a single thing that I regret giving away. Once I started to give away things or selling things, it was like a spell has lifted. It was actually liberating. It's okay that things that we once loved can expire. Today I own more things again than when I was vagabonding, but I certainly don't depend my happiness on it. And I'm much more thoughtful when I want to buy something. One of the most profound experiences of traveling by foot was the simplicity of life. You wake up, you pack up, you walk, you eat, you sleep, repeat. This simplicity gave me so much headspace, like no other activity before. It doesn't matter how many hours I meditated or how many hours I trained. This profound experience and connection with myself was totally new for me. It was like I rediscovered an old friend who I didn't know I had lost. I think that one of the reasons for this effect is the amount of time I spent being fully present and being grateful for the little things in life. Let's take a normal daily routine as an example. This too can be a pretty simple lifestyle. We wake up, go to work, eat, sleep, repeat. But the amount you spend being fully present is less, and the amount of time you spend with your head in the future is much greater. Normally we're constantly busy. In our culture, it's like a badge of honor to be busy and to have a full task list. But we forget to enjoy the moment, let our head roam, allow us to get bored and celebrate the small wins in our lives. When hiking a long distance trail, it's impossible to process the distance you have to hike to finish it. It's just an abstract number. Likewise, you would drive crazy if you would compare your daily accomplishments to the total amount of the trail's distance. So the only solution to this problem is celebrating the small wins, like arriving in a town for resupply by celebrating with a hot shower or an all-you-can-eat buffet. The small wins. You have to learn to appreciate slow growth towards a bigger goal. Enjoy the journey rather than the destination. And occasionally check the map to see if you're still on the right track. On trail, this makes total sense. But in everyday life, we forget that the same principles apply. So as a small summary of my key takeaways, don't let ungrounded fear cloud your decision making. Be mindful of the things you own. Go outside. Trust your map and your daily accomplishments. Allow yourself to get bored. And don't forget to celebrate the small wins in life.